I have a US patent. This is the number. And today I'm going to put a challenge. Here's my challenge. I'm going to offer a real money and some other benefit for the first person that beat me on this particular patent and specific better encode for the patent number. This is the number on the same condition. So that's my offer. Other people can also offer their similar things if you just leave a comments in YouTube. So what is specifically, how much money do I offer? I offer between 10 to the maximum of 1,000. So 10 is the minimum. It depends on how many likes I get from the YouTube. $1 per like. It's a very generous offer. $1 per like. It depends on whether you're familiar with the topic. You could be, you're not familiar with the topic, but that's okay. You still like it. When you like it, you increase the dollar amount. You can also send or share this YouTube to other people who may know the topic a little bit better. So what kind of people you can send to? This is one group, a college student. They are poor, they are interested in money composition. If the student actually beat me, I will personally call their professor if they're taking university class called computer architecture. By the way, I taught many years on computer architecture in the university. I know they cover this material, both graduate and undergraduate classes. I'll call you professor to congratulate his student, so hopefully the student will get a better grade. If you are the professor, of course, you can tell your student, watch this video because the money they are offered is motivated by the money. And for the next reading material, if you are almost going to cover this material, this is a good reading material. So what kind of a topic is this? So this is some background information. So in the computer, we are going to move to a more and more memory. Memory getting bigger from gigabytes, terabyte, and petabyte. People divide a big chunk of memory into smaller pages. You have a small page, big page. So here's an example of a small page. So I have a small page, but many pages. So you have a different size page. You have a large page. Then you for the same content, you have a fewer pages. So what is the advantage and disadvantage of small or big pages? Small pages is very efficient. You have a small, you write it, but the problem is indexing. You have to have an effort of index so many pages. That takes hardware to store that information. So it's the cost and performance. The big page, when you have a big page, it's very efficient on the indexing, but the problem, there are two different problems. One is called internal fragmentation. Internal fragmentation is you have one page and you only use a little bit and the rest is not used. So it's wasted. So this fragmentation is not good for the efficient use of the storage. The second is called external fragmentation. This is in the context that even though the sum of your empty, unused memory are greater than you need, when you try to allocate a contiguous memory, you don't have enough. So that's called external fragmentation. So what is the option? How do people solve this problem? People solve the problem by offering different size. For a small page, you have a smaller size. For a big one, you offer bigger page size. The solution is to offer multiple pages. But one of the key problems of keeping track of multi-pages is what page are you using? Are you using small page or big page? So that's the encoding that covered in this pattern. How do you encode such information? Is it 4K byte page? Is it 8K byte page? What is the most efficient way to encode such information? So here are some of the examples that show you how people encode their page size. This is a MIPS architecture. MIPS uses a mask. mask out the bits. So some of the bits, for example, here for a bigger size is not compared. When you have a bigger page size, you would have a smaller number of pages. Therefore, you don't need too many bits to keep track of the indexing. When you have a smaller page like 4K byte, you need have an encoding like this. This is a MIPS architecture, a page mask. Now, for a bigger, say 16 page size, the mask is 1 here, and the rest is 0, and that's MIPS architecture use many of the bits to keep track of this. So many bits. Second option, you can use the binary coding. Binary coding is if you have a different page size, say you have a 4K byte, you have this encoding, and if you have an 8K byte size, you can say it's 1. So it's a fixed number. Here's I'm showing 8 bits. The 2 to the power of 8, that many page size you can keep track of. And this is 16. You would have a number 2 here to track it. The question is, can you do better? Can you do better encoding, meaning using fewer bits here? So here's my invention. My invention is encoded like this. My invention, I use only 1 bit. This is based on the observation that some of the bits here are ignored. So in the previous practice, people just don't use this bit. When you have a bigger page size, this bit is not used. And to me, I do use that. I make use of this bit. So this is an example for 8 page size, my bit. So this column is the one I add in. So I add in 1 bit. When you have the first bit is 0, that means 8K byte. Same if you have a 16K byte and this bit is 1 and there's another 1, another 0, that will represent a 16K byte. So what's the cost of my implementation versus the previous one? I only have 1 bit here to be stored as an extra. The challenge here to you is, can you do better than this? Meaning, for the same, you have to encode all the possible page size, but use fewer bits. So that's the challenge. In order to get the cash reward, you need really to beat my invention, which means much better. So what is my condition? I have in this video is only 3 different page size, but my invention is unlimited different size up to your whole address space. So it's not just 3 size. So you imagine you have a 4K, 8K, 16K, 32K up until terabytes or petabytes, as many address space as you could. So that's one. You have to have a multiple unlimited page sizes. Also, you cannot say my small size group together in the same. So you have to really imagine as if you rip out all the pages out from big, medium, small, and shuffle them, mix them. Each entry has its own page size encoding. So you have to do exactly the same. But whether you understand this or not, please send to other people and share with your friends.